Hi beautiful souls, welcome to my channel Elle's Temple. My name is Elle, I'm a goddess guide and intuitive tarot reader. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer, welcome if you are new to my channel. So happy to have you all here. I hope you guys are all doing well wherever you are in the world and you have had a good holiday season so far. So today I felt like doing a lovely short uplifting reading all about messages of self-care and self-love this winter season. So this reading, even though I'm filming it through the season of Yule, just trust your intuition. If you are drawn to this at another time of year, or if you're in the southern hemisphere and you're not celebrating winter at the moment but you're still drawn to one of the piles, just trust your intuition. It may be that there are still messages just more generally relating to self-care that you could still incorporate into your practice at the moment anyway, or that may provide some upliftment for you right now. So even if it's after the winter season, or you're not in winter right now, it may be that there's still some messages that might be relevant to you. So just trust your intuition. And also there are 3 piles for you to choose from today, but if you're drawn to more than one pile or even all 3 piles, it may be that there are different aspects of your life that may be coming through in the different piles. So just see which one you're drawn to and trust your intuition. If you are drawn to more than one, there might be some messages relating to different things there for you. So if you are drawn to the family card number 12, you will be pile number 1. I've pre-pulled your oracle cards and I've also got some tarot decks here. I've got a different deck for each pile, and we'll get into some tarot messages in your readings as well. So pile number 2, we have got the storm card number 37. So you'll be pile number 2 if you're drawn to that card. And last but not least, if you're drawn to the beautiful star card number 36, you will be pile number 3. So as always, the timestamps will be below. So just click on your timestamp and it will take you to your reading. Okay, my loves, I will see you on your reading. Hi there, pile number 1. If you chose the family card number 12, this will be your reading. So I'm just going to read the message on the card and get into, I've got some channeled messages coming through, and then we'll take a look at the rest of your oracle cards and also have a look at tarot as well. So with this family card, it says, "Thy love is present in the presence of thee, a comforting veil that warms the heart and hugs the soul." So what I want to say right off the bat is, what came through immediately when I started pulling cards for you, pile number 1, is that for some of you, I feel like family life and, even reconnecting with family over the holiday season, whether you celebrate Christmas or just, the holidays in general, if you're reconnecting with family over this time, I feel like many of you have kind of moved on from your family as being, or in terms of considering that as like your true roots. It's almost like there's something around, there's a sort of disconnect there. Like there's something, it's almost like I kind of get the impression that with this comforting veil that warms the heart and hugs the soul, it's like maybe your true family, in terms of your blood family, doesn't necessarily provide that for you. And I feel like what's coming through is that if you've had that, if you're experiencing that in your life in some way, or if you've been triggered in some way by spending time with family over the holidays, which of course can happen with a lot of people, because if there's any if there's just general disagreements or general kind of like issues with certain family members, sometimes being kind of thrust into being in a small house or something with a lot of family, and even extended family can sometimes stir things up. So I just want to kind of put that out there, because family, in terms of like blood family for everyone, isn't necessarily something that does provide that, like warming the heart and hugging the soul and feeling really comforted and all of that. It might be that you're finding this season that family has been a little bit triggering, or you're just starting to notice where there are discrepancies between yourself and the way you want to live your life and how your family do, and feeling less connected to your roots. Perhaps some of you don't necessarily feel a sense of unconditional love, or you just feel like the odd one out or a black sheep or something like that. And there's something coming through around needing to understand that family doesn't have to be just your blood family, that family can be soul family as well, and that you have the choice and the right, actually, is kind of what I'm hearing, to seek out your true soul family, your soul tribe, is what I'm getting. So let's have a look at your cards and get into this message a little bit more deeply. So we have got Enchanted, beautiful. We've got Inspiration, card number 18, Begin Now. And then for the ritual cards, we got Gratitude, card number 15, which says, I pause for a moment of gratitude for the many blessings for the many blessings in my life. Just move that back a wee bit. Okay, and you also got Braveness, card number 6, with I am brave. And for your Love Your Inner Goddess card, we got Tribe of the Kindred, card number 10. And there's a beautiful message in this book, which I'll read out at the end of your reading, with I think there's a ritual as well. This is from the Alana Fairchild book, and those of you who've been on my channel for a while know that I love the Alana Fairchild decks. They always provide such beautiful in-depth guidance in the guidebooks and gorgeous messages that are really, really powerful. So I would encourage you to stick around for that portion of the reading if this pile is resonating for you, because I think that'll be very healing, the message from this card. So let's get into these cards, and then I'm going to take a wee look at the tarot. So I feel like pile number 1, what's coming through in terms of showing yourself the self-care and self-love that you really deserve over this winter season, is related to this, with this Enchanted card, is related to rediscovering your magic again. I feel like maybe for some of you in childhood or something, whether this was directly from your immediate family or from just your surroundings or the school or whatever it might have been, there was some sort of conditioning, as often happens, for, sensitive children, or, those of us who are very creative and have a lot of inspiration and we're quite sensitive and things like that. Often, over time, as you're conditioned and socialized into, fitting in and going to school and all these kind of things, we lose our sense of enchantment with life. We lose this sense of magic. We lose the sense of connection with, sometimes our spiritual side, or, that kind of thing. Or even if, we might reconnect to it as adults, it might have been so, suppressed in childhood that we don't necessarily feel very safe practicing it, or we may not have anyone around us as a good community, or a kind of a support group, really, to kind of help us connect with that sense of enchantment and stay strongly connected in that sense of enchantment. This card can talk about kind of rediscovering your inner child and rediscovering things that you loved as a child. So one of the things that might be helpful for you over this winter holiday season, particularly if it's, cold and snowy outside and you can't go out and maybe do normal activities, or you're not socializing as much, or whatever it might be, is to do things that help you to feel connected with a sense of enchantment and a sense of magic in the world. Or especially if there's any groups of people or communities or whatever it might be, maybe going to your local sort of crystal shop or something like that. There might be some kind of event on, just as an idea. That's kind of something that just came through. That may not be for all of you. But for some of you, if you're kind of feeling maybe you've gone back home over the holidays and you're oh yeah, no one back home really understands me, or I can't talk about this kind of stuff with anyone. None of my friends from my hometown, or, my family, or even my colleagues, they don't understand that, I love all this sort of spiritual stuff, or I love the magical side of things, or the occult, or whatever it might be, whatever you feel like you can't necessarily share with people. There's something around reconnecting with that sense of enchantment. And then with Inspiration, we've got Begin Now. I feel like this is sort of a card showing a new dawn here, with the goddess Bridget holding up a sun coming through. And And I feel like maybe some of you have been going through a bit of a sort of winter season, even, you know, whether it's actually winter where you are in the world or not. You've been going through a bit of a time of feeling like, you know, nothing's been growing. Maybe things have felt very stagnant. You haven't maybe felt very inspired. You might not have felt very creative or something, or very passionate about anything, or struggling to connect with that kind of thing. And I feel like there's something around these two cards kind of saying that the best way to care for yourself over this holiday season is to reconnect with that sense of enchantment and reconnect with that sense of inspiration, like by connecting them with your inner child and connecting them with things that you loved to do when you were younger, will help you feel more inspired and help so that you feel like there's like a new dawn or a new start coming to you. We've also got gratitude here. So just being in a perspective of gratitude can help to kind of shift your vibration, because maybe if you've been feeling like, you know, perhaps a little bit down about your family or something, or like, you know, misunderstood, or kind of like, you know, that you don't have the things in your life that you necessarily would want to see, or whatever it might be, or that you don't necessarily have the support that you want. I feel like by being grateful and maybe starting a gratitude journal, or even like practicing gratitude in advance for the things that you do want as if you have them, and then like, you know, speaking them into existence, and being in that frequency of gratitude, or even just noticing very small things, you know, like maybe there's a lot of big things that you haven't been able to manifest in your life, or, you know, you're, like I mentioned, you're struggling to see the support that you would want to see, but maybe just being grateful for very small things, like, I'm so grateful I have a lovely bed to sleep in, and, you know, I have water to drink, and I have good food to eat, and, you know, just basic things helps kind of shift your frequency from feeling a little bit glum, particularly if you're suffering from anything like seasonal affective depression or anything like that, seasonal affective disorder, or whatever it's called, over the holidays, you know, with the dimness of light that can sometimes trigger a bit of you know, feeling a bit down in the dumps, or feeling a bit depressed, or you know, unable to kind of find that sense of brightness, you know, and within ourselves. So there's something around practicing gratitude over this winter period that will help you kind of feel a bit more positive, feel a bit brighter, feel a bit more inspired. And then we've also got braveness here with I am brave in this lion. Some of you may be Leos, or you may have Leo quite strong in your chart, or this may be more about kind of cultivating that sort of Leo energy of I kind of see this as social bravery in a way, rather than like bravery in terms of, you know, say related to your career or something. I kind of feel this as more feeling brave to, you know, even like that example I used before, like, you know, with this reconnecting with that sense of enchantment, like to go to, you know, an event where there's you know, the kind of stuff that you're really passionate about or interested in, like a, you know, crystal shop type thing, if that's the kind of thing you're into, or, you know, something where there's some sort of, you know, magic. It could be anything. It could be something you really loved as a child, like I don't know, maybe you were really into Harry Potter or something, and there could be some Harry Potter related thing. I know that's a silly example, but that's just kind of what's coming through. I hope you get the idea. Like, you know, whatever things that you used to love that made you feel connected to a sense of enchantment, and that there is magic in the world, and that there is synchronicity, and that, you know, the universe is looking out for you, and that there is, you know, things like, you know, we've got a fairy on this card here with the wings here on this figure. So, you know, connecting with the sense of you know, the elements, the elementals, the fae, you know, whatever it might be. And I feel like there's something around like having the bravery to like get out there and kind of meet people in that sort of will, because I feel like they are going to be your true tribe and your true soul family. That's how you're going to kind of meet your soul family, is by like going out of your comfort zone a little bit and being brave to like either go to some kind of event, or like meet up with someone, or even just start talking to some people about this kind of stuff that you're interested in. And you know, you might find to your huge surprise that a colleague at work you never would have thought of is like, oh my gosh, I totally love pick a card tarot readings on YouTube. And you're like, oh my gosh, I totally love those too. And then, you know, that's how you meet your soul tribe, or, you know, whatever it might be. Maybe I'm just trying to think of kind of examples, but just like I feel like the more you start to connect with that sense of enchantment, and also start to like actually practice the things that you feel inspired to. Because with this card, it's got like begin now. So I feel like maybe there's been something that you've had an inspiration to do, but you haven't started it yet, or something like that. It could be something like this, starting your own tarot channel, in which case I would say go and do it. Like you will love it. It's one of the best things I've ever done. I wanted to do a tarot channel for absolutely years, and it took me so long to get started, and then once I did, it was like, why haven't I started this sooner? I love it. You know, so it could be something like that. There's something around kind of like getting a bit of momentum going, being brave enough to kind of begin something, to start something, maybe to reach out to someone, to, you know, start a social media channel or blog or something like that, where you're expressing, you know, your true self and talking about, you know, this sort of more magical or enchanting side of life. In some way, you know, whatever facet that is. And then that will, you know, that will connect you with your soul tribe. It'll connect you with more like-minded people, because you're actually showing up in the world, putting out their energy and being like, this is me, this is what I love. You know, you've got that, you're embracing that bravery to kind of really show up. And that is very much that Leo energy, Leo the lion energy, of like having the confidence to kind of just like, you know, be your true self, and you know, be very charismatic, and kind of like be someone who's not afraid to like someone who's not afraid to meet people. It doesn't mean like, you know, if you feel like you're introverted that you suddenly have to become an extrovert or anything. It's just kind of like, you know, maybe if you've sort of felt a bit like, oh, I don't identify with my family really, or I don't identify with my roots or where I come from, and you know, I don't feel like they really support or see the real me, or whatever it might be. Or maybe they are, you know, supportive and everything, but there's just like, they don't maybe understand this kind of thing, like the sort of more magical side of life. And so you kind of feel like you have to kind of just be a different person a little bit, or, you know, you can't sort of really let your freak flag fly. But say that 3 times fast. You can't let your freak flag fly so much around, perhaps, like your roots, like where you're from, or, you know, your colleagues at work or something like that. So there's something around kind of moving outside of your comfort zone, being brave to show your real self, being brave enough to start taking action on something that you feel inspired to do. And I feel like you will then naturally gravitate towards your tribe, is what I'm hearing. Or like, by just showing up in that way, you'll just magnetically attract your true soul tribe. Let's have a look at the tarot and get a little bit more detail, and then we'll come back to this message to finish with. I feel like there's something the tarot wants to say. Whoops. So while I'm shuffling this very slippery deck, I just take the time to ask you guys if you can support my channel by liking the video if you're enjoying it, commenting below, even if it's just an emoji if you don't feel like sharing anything. It really, really helps my channel to grow. I really appreciate each and every one of you who has been doing that on my channel, especially because unfortunately I had a little break from my channel at the end of this year. Whoops, that is a terrible shuffle. My goodness, this deck is so slippery. It's affected the algorithm a little bit. So I would really appreciate it if you guys can like the videos, comment, subscribe if you're not already part of the community. I would love to have you here. So let's have a look. Pile number 1. What is going on for pile 1? That's a lot of cards. I'm not going to take those. What is going on? Whoa, okay, that one definitely wanted to come out. The King of Swords. Okay, let's get a few more to see what's going on. What is going on? Pile 1. What's the situation? Pile 1's in. Judgment. Ah, yes, okay, I'm getting more of a picture now. Let's get a little bit more. And that one flipped out. The Four of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay, I'll start with these and then I can get some more if I need to. So, yeah, I'm getting with this King of Swords and Judgment here that I'm kind of seeing like a male figure in your life. This could be a father figure, it could be a brother, or it could just be someone, doesn't have to be male, it could just be someone with masculine energy in your life who may, they either showed you a lot of judgment in your past, like in your childhood, which you've then internalized, or they still are a little bit of a judgmental figure in some way, or like it's kind of like I'm picking up like sort of judge energy, like they're quite like I guess they're sort of the opposite of this enchanted card with, you know, the whole thing about magic and synchronicity and the fae and, you know, how there's more to life than kind of what you can see, you know, more than what can be measured by evidence, as I feel like, you know, if you're watching a pick a card reading pile 1, you know that, but I feel like maybe someone in your life or you know, this could even be a group, this could be reflective of like you know, the school you're in or the workplace you're in or something like that, or a partner you're with even, and there's something around sort of like being measured by them, or, you know, what I'm hearing is like being weighed and then found wanting. So like or found lacking kind of thing. It's like you feel, or this is how you perceive it. This may not necessarily be exactly what they're doing, or they may be doing this sort of in an unconscious way, but this is something that you've picked up on perhaps energetically, or you sense that that's what's going on, or you kind of feel as if they may be judging you, or you feel as if you know enough about them. And particularly with that King of Swords, this is a very sort of rational energy, a very like logical energy. It's someone who uses their mind to make decisions rather than their heart, sort of thing. And so I feel like perhaps there could be a real, you know, judgment against this sort of more enchanted way of living or thinking about things, or, you know, maybe for some of you, you know, I came up with that example, perhaps some of you want to start a pick a card YouTube channel or something like that, or do more tarot or read for people, or, you know, it doesn't have to be that. It could just be something related to just doing something a little bit more outside of the square, you know, like doing something a little bit unusual, a little bit more creative, a little bit different, something that, you know, you're really passionate about, that you felt the you know, inspiration to start before now, but you maybe haven't had the courage with that braveness there because you've sense that maybe you would get a lot of judgment from either a father figure, from your family, from your wider community, whatever it might be. And that I feel like with that Four of Pentacles, that this person or this group of people or your family are very conservative. So I feel like not only are they very like rational, maybe quite like judgmental, possibly I'm getting with the judge aspect as well, this sort of archetype of being a judge. They could actually be in law or something like that, so they could have expected you to go into law or that type of career, you know, something where you sort of, it's very distinguished, it's very like, you know, you go and do a degree and, you know, higher education, and then, you know, go down a sort of it's a very safe path in a sense. I mean, it isn't necessarily, but you know, they perceive it that way, or maybe that's something they've, you know, they've always been lawyers or doctors in the family, and so they expect you to do the same or something like that. You know, or even if this isn't about sort of career choice or anything, it could just be more generally about how you think about things, which could be why you sometimes feel a little bit like a black sheep of the family, or like, you know, you can't really be your true self, or like I said, fly your freak flag around them, because they're very logical and rational, and kind of like if you're like, oh, I had the idea to, you know, go and do this, or like travel there, or start a YouTube channel, whatever it might be, even if you're still doing, you know, something that they would approve of, kind of thing, as your day job or something, they might still be like, oh, well, is that a really good idea because blah, blah, blah. Or, why would you do that? Or just, don't be unrealistic, or, whatever it might be. It's kind of that sort of thing. And they may not have even, I kind of get the vibe they may not have even expressly said any of this to you, but this is, enough about them to kind of sense that would be the backlash that you would get from them type thing, or the attitude you would get from them. Because with that Four of Pentacles, it's kind of like this sense of like, do the follow the straight and narrow, do the thing that brings you the most money, like, do something that isn't a risk. It's kind of like anti-risk, but risk averse kind of energy. Don't follow your heart, like just do something that's safe, in whatever regard. It could even be related to hobbies, it might be like, don't do anything that's too risky or whatever. So yeah, this is interesting because I just feel like tarot is completely confirming everything that kind of I picked up when I first pulled this family card. It's kind of like, I feel like that your spirit guides are coming through to kind of say, like, sure, like, love your family, respect them, they brought you up, they are your family by blood. It's not to kind of like knock them or anything, or to kind of disrespect their opinion, or like the fact that they hold these values, that they can, that's their right to be, if they want to be conservative, if that's something they, that brings them safety, then that's their right. But I feel like your spirit guides want you to reconnect, sort of heal your inner child and like reconnect with this sense of your inner magical self. And also by doing that, you won't feel so alone within your family, is what I'm hearing. And so like isolated maybe, and like sort of needing their support or validation for this part of you, because you, by being this true self sort of outside of the realm of your family, you will meet your true soul family and your true soul tribe. And I mean, I can say like this is my experience, in some ways, like my family aren't into like this kind of stuff. I have since met, like, they're don't get me wrong, like, they're supportive of me and everything. It's not like they're negative about this kind of thing. It's just not what they are into, really. And so it's just quite funny that I can really resonate with this kind of road, because my own father is a lot like this sort of King of Swords figure, and I feel like a lot of people are, and a lot of people of that generation, my dad was sort of baby boomer generation, so security and stability and jobs for life and all those kind of things were important values. But like, the world has changed a lot now, and a lot of things like jobs aren't necessarily for life anymore, and a lot of people are doing what do they call it, where you can have like portfolio careers, where you have like multiple streams of income doing lots of different things, and and companies don't necessarily keep people on for like forever. And so this whole idea of like sort of training up in something and doing it for forever as your career isn't even necessarily an option necessarily for everyone. So and even if it was, like, you might have trained in something like that, but you might love this sort of more enchanted side of life, or doing connecting with your spiritual self or something, and you might just really yearn to meet people where you can just fully express that part of you, and fully be your true self around, and just talk about all that kind of magical side of life a bit more, rather than sort of things related to like money with that Four of Pentacles, and like survival and security and stability, and what you do for a job and what you do to make a living. And it's like you're like, that's fine, that's one part of my life, and I don't that's all good and well, but like really I'm here to talk about, like, I want to talk about fairies, or I want to talk about tarot, I want to talk about astrology, I want to talk about mysticism, about whatever it might be, whatever aspect you're interested in. Well, like I said, even if it's not something necessarily spiritual, it might just be something a bit more off the beaten track. Like maybe you want to travel, maybe you're interested in philosophy or creativity, creative writing, or something like that, doing something a bit different. And you just feel like you would get judgment, or you do get judgment if you talk about these types of more, say, free-spirited things or like heart-centered things with this scale here with the heart. If you talk about things like that or things that you're passionate about around your family, then maybe not, either don't get it or they're not supportive. Hopefully they're not outright unsupportive, because it's your life and, like, you know, you have a right to live it how you want. So I really hope you're not actually getting any backlash, like literally, but I feel like you may fear that you would. Which may be something that, like, you've ended up internalizing this Four of Pentacles and you're kind of living, you might be living in a like playing small is kind of what I'm hearing. I don't feel like in terms of your career or anything. I just feel like in terms of like your life, like particularly almost in terms of like who you would socialize with, or who you would, like, what sort of things you would go and do in your spare time or something like that. It's like you're very conservative with your time and energy. Yeah, it's like you keep yourself to yourself kind of thing, because you maybe are afraid that you would get this kind of judgment from other people as well. So yeah, there could be a little bit of projection going on, where maybe if you didn't have the support from your family, or you know, this sort of enchanted magical aspect of yourself might have been suppressed in childhood. So there may be a little bit of projecting onto everyone that you meet, that you're going to be met with this sort of stern, rational kind of King of Swords attitude, when actually there are like beautiful, like, look at the difference in these people versus this person. Like, you know, these you know, this person, they look like they've got like dreads and they're kind of like bright colors and flowers in their hair and like antlers, and you know, it's just, I'm not saying you're necessarily going to make friends with people who wear antlers, but I hope you get where I'm coming from. Like, maybe you are, which is really cool. And, you know, that is awesome. So if you go and make friends with people who wear antlers, then go you. But yeah, you're going to meet your tribe of the kindred. And I feel like actually I'm going to finish your reading with the guidance from the book, because I feel like I'm starting to ramble. So, yeah, let's finish up with this. So, tribe of the kindred, home is where the heart is. Give your heart permission to reveal to you the people, places, and activities that feel like home for you. Exactly. You are in a phase of transition in your life, casting off that which is not true to your heart in favor of that which really feels like it belongs in your world. Sometimes the mind resists, thinking that if we let go of too much, we'll be left with nothing, and that it's better to hold on even if something isn't right. This prevents you from being able to find your way home. It's safe to trust your heart as it attracts into your world that which is truly meant for you. Spiritual guidance says, there's a place where you belong. Maybe you found it, or maybe you are still looking. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to find it. What matters is that you believe you deserve a real home for your beautiful heart, and that you don't give up until you are there. Sometimes that means leaving what you had once hoped would be your home, perhaps more than once, until you find it in the truest, most meaningful and enduring way. The quest for intimate, soul-deep belonging begins with you, with learning to love and care for yourself and to feel at home within your being. Exactly. When your heart is ready and divine timing is right, you will attract and increase your soul tribe. Maybe one person at first, then another, then another. Trust in the higher purpose of divine timing. Sometimes delays or breaking away from past connections are how we find out more of who we are and what we need. Trust that you are worthy of love and that you know how to love. Make peace with the past. All your experiences have helps you know yourself and become wiser. Remember that your tribe is looking for you just as you are looking for them, and will love you just as you love them. Be at peace, beautiful soul, for your soul tribe, your spiritual family, are part of your divine destiny, and you are part of theirs. So the sacred ritual, I'll hold it up to the camera in case you want to do it in your own time. You can take a screenshot of that, but it says, place one hand on your heart and say the following invocation aloud. I call upon my kindred soul tribe, my spiritual family, the true home for my heart. May we be blessed to find, recognize, and love each other at the perfect moment in the most beautiful way. Oh, I love that for you, pile number one. That is so, so beautiful. So I hope that resonated for you. Leave me a comment below if it did. I would love to hear from you, or just drop an emoji if you don't feel like sharing anything. I totally understand. You don't ever have to write anything if you don't feel comfortable sharing in the comment section. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already part of my community. I would love to have you here. And hit the like button if you enjoyed the reading. It helps my channel to grow. All the best with your winter season, and I will see you in the next reading. All my love. Bye. Hi there, pile 2. If you chose the Storm card number 37, this will be your reading. So I'm just going to start off with some channel messages that I got when I was tuning into your energy for and pulling your cards, and then we'll look at your oracle cards that I've pre-pulled, and we will also look at your tarot. I've got the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot for you guys, so we'll get into that in a moment. So, and then we'll finish off with, I've got the Love Your Inner Goddess guide book here with some messages from Alana Fairchild with a ritual for you to finish off. So pile number 2, the Storm card. The message on the card says, as within and so without, there are storms are coming, a change without doubt. I feel like for you, pile 2, you're in the middle. I don't feel like a change is something that's going to come like at the end of the season. I feel like this is for those of you that are already in a transition. I feel like right now you feel like you are in, what's it called? The eye of the storm. You feel like you're in the eye of the storm right now. Like a storm is happening around you. You're in huge change. Like it might be quite tumultuous. It might be, you might be in just huge transition. It could be like, just, I feel like something quite transformational, something quite big has sort of like an upheaval of some sort. Like either maybe you've just lost your job or found out you might be about to lose a job. And again, this is not to say this is going to happen. This isn't a predictive reading. This is messages of self-care and support for this season. So this is something you may already know about. So if you don't feel like you're going through any change or transition, this may not be your pile. It may be that there's messages in the other piles for you. But this is like if you may be going through a relationship breakdown or questioning, you know, whether you should continue with a relationship or something. I'm picking up more strongly a vibe with work though, a big change in relation to your work. Maybe some of you know this is coming. You either might have been made redundant or you've been warned perhaps by your company that there's going to be some redundancies or changes in your job, changes to your job, possibly being without a job or something along those lines. Or needing to change your house, like some sort of big upheaval to where you live. Maybe it could be that there's literally been actual storms, like physical storms, and they've caused damage to the home where you were in. I really hope nothing serious like that has happened to you and you've been kind of forced out of your house. But some of you may be like moving for some reason. Maybe, you've just decided that, enough is enough. Like the house you were in is like got too many things wrong with it or something. And you're finally like, okay, we need to put it on the market and actually move. But it's all quite stressful because I'm kind of getting the energy of like, you're sort of, you're like in the middle of a storm. It's kind of like, I'm kind of seeing someone hunkered down with like a hurricane kind of going on around them. This could also be that there's a lot of change going on around you, but like maybe it's like impacting you kind of thing from the outside. Like, for example, your company could be going through a lot of changes, but you yourself are keeping your job and you're staying where you are, but it's like a very tumultuous situation or something like that. Or like, say within like something in your personal life, like maybe you yourself are fine, but like your partner is going through a huge health crisis or a legal case or something like that. So it's kind of like there's this stormy energy somehow around you, whether it's sort of directly impacting you or indirectly. There's still this kind of sense of hunkering down while all this change happens and this transition happens. So let's have a look at your other cards and get some more messages for you. So we have got prosperity. Yeah, I feel like this is, for many of you, this is more to do with how you receive your income. It's something to do with, for most of you, I feel like this will be to do with your job, your income. Maybe some of you run a business or something like that, and you're going through some big changes in your own business. or how you earn. Let's have a look at your other cards and then we'll read all the messages together. We have got Moon Law with ebb and flow, card number 23. We've got card number 36 with trust. I choose to trust. And she's got her hands over her eyes. Yeah, I get the impression for some of you guys, you're just like, oh my gosh, I just need to ride out the storm. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I can't see what's going to happen in the end of this, but like, I hope it's going to be okay. And you're just kind of like I'm sort of seeing, you know, if you're in a car and someone, you're in the passenger seat, someone's driving the car, and it looks like they're gonna crash because it's just like going so fast, and you're just like closing your eyes. I don't even want to look. Like, this is terrifying. Like, I'm kind of getting the impression that things have started, maybe something's accelerated, or there's just a lot of change that's been happening very, very quickly, and you're like, I can't even look. This is crazy. Like, I don't know what's going to happen here. It's kind of the energy I'm getting from you. And then we've got card number 4 with Aurora. I am renewed with the dawn of each day. Beautiful. And finally, we have got, for your Love Your Inner Goddess card, we've got when darkness surrounds you, be the light. Card number 17, you are the light. Beautiful. Okay, so let's get into your messages. Like I said, with this prosperity card, I feel like there might have just been, or you're in the process of going through some sort of upheaval in relation to your prosperity or your finances, your income. Maybe some of you have had like a sudden like debt that you weren't expecting or something like that. A big change in your financial situation, changing jobs, changing companies, things like that. And I feel like with this moon law and ebb and flow, it's like, I feel like there's maybe been, I'm hearing kind of issues with the flow, potentially with like the flow of finances, or issues, possibly like some scarcity issues with your income, maybe issues with receiving income through your business if you run a business, or you know, getting benefits if you're on benefits or something like that. It's like there's been some sort of an issue which could be related to this stormy situation you're in, or it could be that this stormy situation you're in is kind of happening in order to bring about some sort of change in relation to how you earn money, and allow more money to sort of like ebb and flow, like allow a better relationship with income and money to kind of come in. Because I'm kind of getting the energy like you may not have been able to get the income you deserve for some reason. Like that, it's like the flow has been blocked. Like that, it's been more ebb than flow. Like it's you haven't been getting, for some of you, maybe you haven't been getting reciprocal value for the work you've been putting in or something. And so, right, okay, I'm getting it now. What they're showing me is kind of like the situation you were in maybe wasn't giving you the prosperity that you deserve, or allowing the flow of income or reciprocal value for what you were putting in. And so the universe has kind of placed you in this storm situation in order to upend that situation that wasn't, it's like it was built on a false foundation or something, or like it wasn't really valuing you, and it's taking that away, or forcing something to change so that it can create, so that like this change will be the thing that allows you to create more prosperity for yourself, and allows you to tap into like the flow of income. Yeah, but I feel like maybe for some of you, like I said, with this figure kind of with her hands over her eyes, it's like you maybe you can't see that yet. At the moment, you might be in the midst of the storm, kind of like I got that energy at the beginning of some of you, like hunkering down inside a hurricane. So at the moment, it could just be like, oh my gosh, there's just all these changes, and like now my role has changed. Like, you know, I thought I was going to be promoted, but instead I was demoted at work, or like they've now said there's no money for this project. So, you know, or whatever it is, or like now I haven't got the clients that I thought I was going to get for this business. And it's like you maybe can't see yet why all this tumultuous situation is happening. It feels very scary, and it looks scary if you look at it. You know, if you perceive it in a certain way, it's like this, you know, you could see it as like, why is this happening to me? Or like, this is really terrible, that this change is happening. But the universe is like realigning you, I feel like, with this Aurora card we've got. I'm renewed with the dawn of each new day. It's like there's some sort of renewal in your situation. There's like a new dawn that's coming for you. And dawn energy is often like talked about when it's like it's always darkest before the dawn. So I feel like for some of you, you feel like you're in a very dark period right now. Maybe you feel like there's a lot of scarcity, or you feel very uncertain. You may feel very fearful about what's going to happen. And we've also got even here, when darkness surrounds you, you know, you are the light, be the light. So there's something around kind of feeling like you're in that sort of the last, you know, the darkest part of the day just before the new dawn. But I feel like if you can trust and hold to the fact that like whatever's happened, even though it doesn't feel like it at the time, often, you know, huge changes like that can feel very scary and disorienting and painful and upsetting and everything like that. But I feel like it's the sort of thing that in the long run you'll see why it needed to happen, and it's something to do with like realigning you with a better ebb and flow of like your energy and your work and your value, and like, you know, receiving reciprocal value for the work you put in. So as an example, maybe some of you have lost your job for a company you were working in, and it's very upsetting because you really like the company and whatever, and you know, you were expecting to kind of go far, and it feels like a huge upheaval, and you're kind of like, well, I don't know what else to do, and you know, I just expected to be able to stay with that company. And after a period of time and sort of rest and recovery, you apply for a different job, maybe doing something a bit outside your comfort zone, or something you didn't necessarily think you were going to do. And in that job, that company is actually so much more, like they value your time and your work so much more than the previous company did. And, you know, you're not much around as much, and you don't have to overwork as much, and you've got better like, better work-life balance or something, and more money, maybe even like a better package or whatever it might be. So it's kind of like, it's horrible at the time, and a storm, you know, if you think of storm energy, you know, at the time when you're listening to the storm, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, or if you're outside in a storm or something, it's like, oh, it's really scary, and it's uncomfortable, and you know, like if it's raining loads or super windy or whatever, it's not very pleasant, right, to be caught in the middle of that storm. It's like, you know, especially if you say go out walking and you think it's supposed to be a nice sunny day, and then all of a sudden a storm comes along, it's like, oh, this is pretty horrible, right? But like quite often after the storm clears, you know how there's that just like sense of like almost like the atoms or the air. This is really, I'm not explaining this very well, I know, but like I hope you understand what I mean. You know, when the storm clears and it's like the air feels fresher, right? Like just something feels like refreshed, and it's kind of like everything suddenly like glistening, and like sometimes a rainbow comes out, and it's just all like, it kind of needed to happen sometimes, like especially, you know, when like there's been a lot of humidity, and then you need that storm to kind of break the humidity and kind of bring in that like coolness. And so what I'm kind of getting from the reason that analogy is coming through is maybe in the situation you were in, you may have been getting a bit burnt out, possibly, with trying to possibly prove yourself in some way, or to get the value that you actually deserved. You may have been, you know, burning the candle at both ends, or like burning yourself out, or like trying to prove yourself in a certain capacity or something. And in the end, the universe has been like, no, pile 2 is awesome. They do not deserve this. Like we're gonna like flip this situation on its head. We're gonna like, you know, end this job, like pull them out of that company, whatever it might be, and put them through, you know, a bit of a storm. But at the end of it, it's like you're going to be realigned with something so much better in the process. Like you are going to have this new dawn. You are going to have a much better like flow of income, I feel like, especially, or just a better like a better flow of energy, even like, just like I said, better work-life balance, a chance to like, you know, properly rest and take care of yourself, not get so burnt out maybe. It's like a sense of renewal. Like I said with the storm, when it breaks, it's like there's this renewal in the air. So I feel like this is happening for a reason, as much as like it is really, really hard to trust and you can't necessarily see yet like what's going to come of it. But if you can trust that there is a new dawn coming for you, there is a new day, there's a new dawn, there's a new start, there's, you know, something that is meant for you that is going to be so much more balanced and going to give you like, allow you to balance your ebb and flow of your own energy, allow you to balance your money, perhaps if it is related to your finances or your prosperity, or just get better income that you deserve or something along those lines. But I'm going to come back to this card to finish off, but let's just get a few tarot cards to get into this in a little bit more detail. I'm going to move these ones out of the way. So while I'm doing this, if I can just ask you guys to like the video if you're enjoying it so far, comment below if it's resonating for you. If you don't feel comfortable sharing a comment, that's totally fine. I completely understand. You could always just leave a little emoji. It just really helps my channel to grow. For those of you that have been on here for a while know I had a bit of a break from YouTube because of bad health, and it has affected the algorithm a little bit, so I appreciate it. Each and every one of you who has been commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing, it really, really helps me so much, and I appreciate you all so much. So thank you all for those of you that have been doing that. So let's get into the tarot. So what is going on for pile 2? What is going on for pile 2? Whoa. Okay, it's falling on the floor. Hold on. Revolution. Yeah, look at this with the lightning. Definitely some kind of big change for sure. Wow. Okay, let's get some more cards. Okay, there's a lot. The moon. Yes, something you can't see. We've got Spirit of Cups, which is the King of Cups. Okay, we have got the Wayfarer, card number 6, which is equivalent to the Lover's card in traditional tarot. And we have got 10 of Wands. Yes, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like this is really confirming what I was picking up on with the oracle portion of the reading. I feel like this revolution is like, you know, revolution talks about change. This is equivalent to, I believe this is equivalent to the Tower card in tarot. Let me just check, actually. Revolution. There might be a message in this particular. Yeah, traditionally the Tower. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I knew that, but I just wanted to double check. But the reason they've got me to go in the book, I think, is to actually read this. So things are no longer working. You have tried and tried, but it's time to start all over. Let things burn to rise anew like a phoenix from the ashes. Our goddess stands above burning flames, holding a banner of society ablaze. She channels lightning to call attention to her actions. This says enough is enough and asks us to dismantle the systems that aren't working. This may be a personal revolution / evolution, or something on a great scale, something you are feeling called to do. Shed yourself. Believe that by starting fresh, new things will grow. The beautiful purple flowers blossom amid the chaos. Change is possible. Don't give up. Don't give in. You have true power, and you need to use your voice so others can hear the message and join you in this transition. The heat is up high, but you can rise to the challenge. And the keywords are disruption, evolution, start anew, dismantle, transformation. Exactly. What did I say with that? Like, start anew, the Aurora card, I'm renewed with the dawn of each day, and with the storm we've got you know, this is basically exactly what I was describing about the storm card, is exactly like a Tower moment. Yeah, where there's some sort of forced change that, you know, the universe brings something about because you're in a situation that is built on a false foundation, where, which I feel like, you know, this, it's like, I don't necessarily feel like you necessarily want to go back to that situation. I feel like you are at a point where you're like, enough is enough. With that 10 of Wands coming out as well, this is a lot to do with, like, you know, the end of a cycle of something that is like where you're finally ready to put down the burdens, you know, like things that you've been carrying, all these wands that you've been carrying for too long, and they've just got overwhelming, and now it's like, okay, that's it, I'm walking away from this situation. it's not bringing me the joy or the prosperity or the value that I deserve or that I want in my life. It's not, it maybe was something I wanted to do a while ago, but now it's not aligned with who I am anymore. It's like there's some sort of, you've gone through an evolution within yourself as well. So it's like this thing isn't really fitting in with that anymore, which is why it's talking about shedding. You know, it's like letting go of an old skin, shedding something that just doesn't fit anymore. And like with the moon here, this can feel, this may bring up a lot of subconscious fears. It may feel, you know, she's veiled here. And, you know, we had the card of trust with the eyes being covered, and the moon can talk about like things that you can't see. You know, things in, you know, it's that sense of like possibly illusion or something that is sort of hiding in the subconscious or something sort of coming to light. But I kind of feel like this is sort of talking about maybe this revolution being something that needed to happen. It's like you needed to make this change, and in doing so and being forced into this transition, these things about yourself are starting to come to light, where you kind of seeing like, oh yeah, like actually, yeah, I wasn't really happy in that job. I was really overburdened. I was really burnt out. Or, you know, yeah, I wasn't really valued by those people. Or yeah, like that work I was doing in my business, like that wasn't really aligned with who I really was. I kind of did it because, you know, whatever it might be. Like at the time I thought it would make me the most money, but actually it just made me miserable because I was, you know, busting my gut doing 80-hour weeks, or, you know, whatever it might be that this transition is that you're in. And I feel like it is to do with something related to how you're earning. It's being, actually, I'm feeling called to move that up there. I feel like it's like it's being brought to light how much of a burden you were carrying, so that you could create this sort of revolution. Whether it's something, you know, you may have created this Tao moment for yourself. Like you may have initiated this change because you may be like, you know, enough is enough, this is too much, I can't carry this burden anymore, I'm leaving. Or you're in the process of doing that, or, you know, the universe has kind of made it happen. Like maybe you have been thinking for a while that you would leave, or you should leave, or you should try something different, and then the universe has come and kind of pulled the proverbial rug out from under your feet and been like, okay, let's realign you with something that's so much better. Because then underneath we've got the Wayfarer, which is the Lovers, and Spirit of Cups, which is the King of Cups. So both cards talking about doing something that brings you emotional fulfillment and that you really, really love. The Wayfarer as well also talks about choice, or the Lovers card also talks about choice, making a choice. So I feel like there is some sort of choice point here, or you've had some sort of choice point to kind of somehow cling to this situation or this way of being, or this job, or this, you know, the form that your business has taken up to this point, or to like, you know, carve a new way, like try something different, like carve out a new path, and yeah, sort of expand, because we've got Jupiter pictured in the background here, which is to do with like expansion. I feel like you're being called to expand into like a higher, not necessarily like a higher self, but like just a more expansive version of yourself. So maybe the version of you that was previously, you know, in that doing whatever it was, whether it was whatever the, you know, this card talked about systems, these systems that need to change. It's like, you know, there was something in that was causing you a lot of burdens and keeping you kind of stuck, or keeping you sort of in a set way of doing things. And it's like the universe wants you to expand, you know, with Jupiter being there. It's like you're meant to be expanding, you're meant to be growing, you're meant to be evolving, hence revolution, you're meant to evolve. And also with the Wayfarer card, we've got the snake here, and that when I read out the message from the revolution card, it was talking about shedding, like shedding something. You need to shed something. And we've got the snake, which is a symbol of rebirth, because it sheds its skin, you know, periodically, and it's like a whole new snake underneath. So I feel like that's what this is saying, is like shrugging something off in order to reveal like a new, more evolved version of yourself that's in alignment with your emotional self. Because Spirit of Cups is this King of Cups, But in this particular deck, it's showing up as Spirit of Cups. So it's something to do with like specifically spirit, like aligning with your spirit self, aligning with your higher self, aligning with your emotional self, I feel like is going to be like the key. And we've also got like a serpent on this card as well. So yeah, very interesting reading. I feel like these cards are basically kind of confirming everything from the oracle, which is great. But let's finish now with I think that's all the messages from the cards. Yes. Yeah, let's finish up with the guidance from the You Are the Light card from the Love Your Inner Goddess, card number 17. Okay, so you are going through spiritual initiation. This is happening because you are ready for it, even if it doesn't always feel that way. The way to pass this test is to rely on the light within you. Don't let fear or doubt make you distrust the path ahead. Don't give in to despair or believe that things will not work out. You are learning to trust that the universe knows what it is doing. There are great and beautiful things meant for you, and no matter what appears to be right now, they will come to you in the perfect way and at the perfect time. Keep your faith in the light. All will be well. And the guidance is, light is powerful. Some people don't understand this. The fear in their heart makes them cynical. That fear stops them from seeing what is true. In the absence of truth, they hold on to their judgments instead. They scoff at what they don't understand. Be careful of allowing such people to influence you. It's not wise to take advice from people who are invested in creating pain. You can have compassion for them, but you must not underestimate how their negativity can taint your trust in the universe. When we feel the light within us, when we trust in it, when we are able to move beyond the fear and negativity that exists in this world. When we feel the light within us, when we trust in it, we are able to move beyond the fear and negativity that exists in this world. You have it within you to be that light. The only thing that can trap you is the choice to believe in the negative and give in to fear. That's not you, so don't choose that for yourself. Don't listen to people who would cause you to question the light. The light within you is the real you. Be at peace, beautiful one, for the positive power of the light in you is stronger than any darkness. And there's a sacred ritual here, which I'll hold up to the camera in case you want to do in your own time. You can take a screenshot. And it says, focus gently on a visible source of natural light. That could be a candle or a campfire, the moon in the sky, or reflecting on the water, the sun shining down from the heavens. Or you could even close your eyes as you see, feel, imagine, or pretend that there is an eternal light flickering inside of you. Relax as you repeat this soothing and empowering affirmation to yourself, aloud or silently in your mind, for as long as feels good for you. I choose to trust the light. I am safe and held in the light. I am the light. I choose to trust the light. I am safe and held in the light. I am the light. Exactly. I feel like that's what the Spirit of Cups was saying, like King of Cups, or specifically in this deck, Spirit of Cups, like you're being called to embrace this Spirit of Cups within you. You are the light. You are this light worker. This person's holding like a little lantern that's just like beaming all this light down to this cup. So it's like you have that ability to be like a light worker, I feel like, or you have this light within you that can both illuminate more things about this situation for you, but also potentially illuminate the path for others if that's something that you're feeling called to do. But I feel like there is with that wayfarer, it's like you're at a choice point or at a change point, transition point at the moment, and there's something around shedding some old skin so that you can expand into this, like it says with this card, your true self, your real self, your soul self. And just to trust as this process happens, and it will bring about a new start for you. Just trust that you are going to have a new beginning, that you are going to be safe, that you are going to be protected by the universe as you go through this. So trust in the light within and your guidance within and your guides, and you will get through this storm. Okay, my loves, I hope that resonated for you. Leave a comment below if it did. I would love to hear from you, or leave a little emoji. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the reading. It helps tell me what content is resonating for you guys. Hit the subscribe button if you are new to my channel. I would love to have you part of the community. And all the best with your winter season, and I will see you in the next reading. All my love. Bye. Hi there, pile 3. If you chose the star card number 36, this will be your reading. So I'm just going to start off with some channel messages that came through from when I was pulling the cards for your pile, and then we've got some oracle cards I've pre-pulled, and then some tarot, and then we'll finish off with a Love Your Inner Goddess ritual card as well. So for you, pile number 3, I feel like this holiday season, this is about connecting in with your destiny. It feels like there's been something that you have been wanting to manifest, or some dream you've been called to step into, or to start something in some way. It could be a creative project, it could be some new career path or something, or it could just be something that you want to manifest, or maybe a trip you want to take or something. There's something that you're feeling very inspired, I feel like, to do, or very called to do. And there's a reason for that. I feel like what's coming through strongly is to trust in that like guiding light. You know, if you think of the star, the whole archetype of the whole star thing is like, this guiding light in the sky that can like, guide you on your journey. So even if you feel like you're not getting any clear indications in your immediate world, if you sort of look to the stars, so to speak, it's like that will be what helps guide you forward. It's like, as it says, follow the stars so they know best. You'll get a shimmer of what is coming next. So I feel like maybe for some of you, you may have had this bit of shimmer, this bit of like inkling of what could come for you, but maybe there's just a little bit of fear about following it, or maybe an uncertainty about like exactly which path to take, or exactly which steps to take, or something along those lines. But let's have a look at your other cards. But I feel like very strongly there's something related to destiny here. With this star card, there's something that you're destined to do. There's something, whatever this calling is, or this thing that you're feeling called to do, it's in some way related to your destiny. This could also be saying as well that you are going to be a star in some way, like you're going to be very well known in your respective field or something like that. But I feel more strongly, more broadly for most of you, this is to do with something destined for you, that you may be starting, or you may start seeing evolve during this winter season, or shortly after this season. This particular season could be quite significant for you. So exciting. Let's have a look at your other cards. We've got adventure. Love this. This is such a beautiful card. I love these moon oracle cards. Okay, we have got imagination, let your dreams take flight. Beautiful. Okay, and then we've got two ritual cards. We've got card number 18 with intuition. I'm in tune with my soul's inner knowing. And we've got manifestation, card number 24. With the help of the universe, I co-create my dream life. You've got two cards talking about dreams. And then we've got Moonchild, card number 7. So I'll read out the guidance from the book at the very end of your reading, but let's just start with your oracle cards first. So with this star card and also this adventure card, I feel like there is some, if I can pick it up, there is some sort of adventure that you are being called to go on. It's like you're being called to explore something, to kind of go through this doorway into like another place potentially. Also I was talking about with that follow the stars, it's kind of that sense of like there being a star that's like guiding your journey. So maybe some of you are literally going on some kind of physical journey, you're going traveling, you're going on some kind of adventure, or you're feeling very called to do something like that. Let me just actually, I haven't been reading the guidebook for this particular deck, but for some reason I feel very called to read it for this one, and I don't even know if I brought it over. What have I done with it? Okay, hold on one sec, pile 3. Sorry about that, pile 3. I had to take out the guidebook. So we've got, it says escape, discover, begin. Adventure is knocking at your door. Go ahead and answer it. Have you been yearning to seek out something new and fresh? This could be a physical destination to an enchanting place, or an intellectual journey exploring your mind. Begin planning your dream trip to a faraway land. Expand your knowledge by conquering a new skill, craft, or hobby that you have been wanting to learn. Plan a day trip or getaway weekend to explore the mountains, relax on the sandy beach, or retreat to a secluded cabin. A simple picnic or self-love day may be all you need to rejuvenate your soul. Your adventures are an open book for you to explore. And the intention is take a new path and find your magic on your journey. Rekindle your magic and fall in love with your life. And it says here, jobs for your pockets, but adventures for your soul, by Jamie Lynn. Oh, that's That is so lovely. I love that. I feel like this is saying in terms of the best way to practice like self-love and self-care over this season is to allow your dreams to really go wild, to start planning that trip that you've been always wanting to take, or that, you know, that dream country you've always wanted to move to, or even just taking little small adventures, you know, like it's suggested in the book, like going for a daily picnic, like practicing those little self-care things by going on little small adventures. You know, maybe just taking a day trip somewhere, or you know, going to you know, just going to visit a friend somewhere or something like that, just going on a small adventure if you can't necessarily go somewhere bigger, but also maybe planning, allowing your imagination to go wild and start planning your dream trip, like maybe using this winter season where maybe you can't travel right now for whatever reason, but maybe just start, like, you know, allowing, you know, the daydreams to kind of start, you know, going wild. Like just allow yourself to imagine what it would feel like to like live in your, you know, your dream country, or go traveling to the dream places you've always wanted to go to. You know, maybe create a vision board over this time. If you check out my blog, actually, I just posted a post, so the website is in the description box below. It's elstemple.com, and on the most recent post I put up this week on Wednesday, with goddess Skuld, who's the Norse goddess of the future, and I put in that particular post a ritual around creating an intuitive, or what I like to call magical vision board, which is done in a different way from like a typical vision board, where normally you would be like, oh, I want these things, and then you go and find pictures of like a car or a house or whatever. I do it in a very different way, and it's been really magical, and all the boards I've done over the years have played out in my life to like, it's so spooky, you guys, seriously. So I would really, really encourage you to check that out. I won't go into detail in this video about that, but if you're interested to try that particular magical way of vision boarding through this holiday season, that could be a really beautiful self-care ritual for you to help you like tap into you know, your dream life and creating your dream life in the sense that you can actually like manifest it for yourself, and really just, yeah, allow your imagination to go wild. Like, you know, maybe, you know, if it's, say, somewhere traveling, like maybe go to a travel agency and pick up a bunch of travel magazines, even if you're not necessarily in a position to go anywhere yet, but it's just kind of that energy of getting into thinking about it, or feeling it, or imagining it in some way. And also trusting your intuition as well. Like, I'm in tune with my soul's inner knowing. This kind of comes back to what I was saying at the beginning about some of you feeling very called to go somewhere, or to take a journey to a specific place, or to start something in particular. You know, as I spoke about when I was reading the message in this book, there's a lot around like self-discovery. So that I feel like your guides are kind of encouraging you to like, you know, leave the home sort of thing, like go out of your comfort zone, like go out into the world and discover something new. Maybe it's like it said in that guidebook, like starting a new hobby. Yeah, just you know, going somewhere a bit different in your day, like trying something new. But I feel like you know what this is. I feel like your intuition will tell you like where to go. And also, some of you, I talk about this a lot in some of my readings, some of you might get like an intuitive nudge to do something, and that might lead you to some sort of crazy synchronicity. So like if you feel an intuitive nudge to like, say, go home a slightly different route, or to like out of the blue be like, oh, I feel like going down to that shop to get some chocolate or something. And, you know, maybe logically you'd be like, oh, I don't really have time for that, or I shouldn't go off my usual route, or whatever it might be. But like intuitively, you're just feeling like, no, I really need to go to that shop today, or I really just need to go home that way, or something like that. There's like a nudge. Trust your intuition, because you just never know what might happen. Sometimes we get given these little breadcrumbs, and it's like part of this whole, you know, the star that's guiding you, or your guides are like guiding you to you know, some sort of a breadcrumb around something. Like maybe you go to the shop and then there's, I don't know, for example, an ad on the notice board that is about a class or something that someone's starting. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe someone's starting that class in my town. I've always wanted to learn XYZ. or you take a different route home and then you see a big ad flash up somewhere that's around like a huge discount on flights to a particular country you've always wanted to go to, but it's like a, you know, a short sale, like a flash sale, and you've got to book it that night or something. And if you hadn't gone that route, you wouldn't have seen the ad, and then you may not have known about it, or, you know, like something. It's things like that. Like, those aren't very good examples, but I hope you get the idea that I mean. I've had things like this happen to me, like weird synchronicities where I've gone off my normal route, or like I felt a sudden nudge to like go and do something or go somewhere, and then I've like met someone incredible or something that has ended up being like a really good friend, or like they've ended up kind of maybe aligning me with my next house, or like they've been someone who's you know, I've ended up getting an opportunity to go traveling somewhere that I would never have gone if it wasn't for them, or something like that. You know, it's like, in fact, actually that happened once when I met someone. I went a different way home. I was living in Bristol, and I met someone in a cafe that I wasn't originally going to go to. And then at the last minute, I just was like, oh, I'm just going to check this cafe out. And the girl in there, we got chatting and we became close friends. And then she invited me on this amazing trip to France. And it was incredible. And I might not have gone if I hadn't, like, on the off chance, kind of trusted my intuition and gone that different way home, and happened to discover that cafe where she happened to work. So it's just things like that might be quite magical things that might be happening for you over this season. So kind of like, you know, listen to your soul, listen to those little nudges, listen to when like something in your intuition is like, let's just do this, or let's just try that, or let's go here, or let's meet this person or something. It's like there's something that's calling you to get outside your comfort zone, to explore, to discover, to let your imagination go wild. And also maybe practicing certain manifestation techniques could be useful for you around this time. If there is a particular dream you're trying to manifest, like maybe doing scripting, maybe doing like certain manifestation, you know, affirmations or meditations or something like that. Because I feel like you have this, it's like magician energy, where right now there's a lot of things like synchronizing for you, that are lining up for you to like work with those elements. But it does require you to actually take action on those intuitive nudges, to bring this imagination into your physical waking life kind of thing. I'm sort of thinking of oh my gosh, what is his name? I've forgotten his name. The guy who does all the Neville Goddard, who does all the like manifesting things, and he talks a lot about like as you're drifting asleep to like imagine. You know, it's that whole imaginal thinking thing, like imagine the life that you want, or imagine you're already in the situation of the thing that you want to manifest. So say if you want to, you know, travel somewhere or something, it's like as you're drifting off to sleep, imagine that you're already traveling. Like, what would it feel like if you were getting on the plane, and what would it feel like as you land in the country you've always wanted to live in or travel to? What would it feel like as you're out exploring the streets, and like kind of just drift off, just like thinking about, you know, like how great that would be, and letting your imagination go fully wild, and like just trust that, like, you know, maybe it won't happen immediately necessarily, but like the more you kind of practice that like sense of acting as if you have it essentially, then like certain things might come along to help align you with that thing that you're trying to manifest, or you know, align you with more adventure in some way. Like this card said, it's like maybe you want to go on a really big trip, but maybe for now getting into the energy of like, you know, going on small trips might then lead to bigger trips in some way. Like it might then lead to other opportunities or something. You just never know. And let's have a look at the tarot now, and then we'll finish up with the guidance from the Love Your Inner Goddess card. So while I'm shuffling, I'm just gonna take a moment to ask you guys, if you don't mind, helping me out, and I really appreciate each and every one of you who's been doing this so far, helping me out by liking the video if you're enjoying it, and commenting below if it's resonating, or even just leaving a little emoji. It really helps my channel to grow. For those of you that have been on here for a while know I had to take a break from YouTube because of health reasons for a couple of months, and it's affected the algorithm a little bit, unfortunately. So I'd so appreciate each and every one of you who have continued to support me and who comment and like and share. That really, really helps me out so much. And subscribe if you're not already part of the community. I'd love to have you here. Thank you so much for those of you who have been doing that. I so appreciate each and every one of you. So let's get into the tarot. So what is going on for pile 3? 2 of Pentacles, juggling something. Okay, interesting. What's going on for pile? Whoa, that came out fast. 9 of Wands. Interesting. What's going on? 10 of Cups, beautiful. Okay, let's start with these cards. Oh, actually, I feel like maybe one more wants to come out. Is that one? 6 of Pentacles. Okay, so let's just move these over. Okay. Okay, so pile number 3. I feel like possibly for some of you, you are juggling something at the moment. So maybe for some of you, you are doing something like both a day job and also some sort of a like hobby business or like a side hustle, something like that. And you're juggling those two things. Or the other thing that's coming through with this card is like trying to decide something. Is kind of more the energy I'm getting than necessarily juggling two things. Some of you may be juggling two things and trying to decide whether to, like, say, quit your day job in order to follow your passion more and plug more energy into your side business. But I kind of feel like maybe some of you are sort of juggling a decision or weighing up a decision, trying to decide like possibly where to go. And I feel like it's you're with this 9 of Wands, it's like you're taking a bit of time out. You know, this card can talk about just a bit of a break from the fray, like, you know, taking a bit of time out from, you know, work or whatever it might be, or other people. Maybe some of you have been sort of rushing around trying to investigate or do research. Maybe some of you are looking at moving, traveling somewhere, and you're just taking a little bit of a breather. You're taking a bit of a break to, like, kind of maybe pause proceedings in some way. Maybe because, like, you might doubt that it could really happen, or perhaps because you don't necessarily have the income yet to make it happen, or things just haven't quite aligned. And so there's this sort of sense of like, oh, okay, I just need to kind of put that on hold, that dream on hold right now, is kind of the energy I'm getting. Or you're sort of putting a decision on hold, like maybe the decision to maybe take a gap year or take a year out and go traveling, have more adventure, maybe travel to a different country or move to a different country. You're like, I'm not sure I can really do that, or I'm not sure that's really realistic or something. But I feel like with the 10 of Cups here, I feel like this dream you have is something that is going to just bring you like so much happiness. I feel like it's interesting. This 9 of Wands, that the rainbow is like in the distance, and this person can't see it. It's behind her. It's like it's way over there, and she's sort of up here with one wand sort of leaning on it, looking this way. So maybe in your current reality, you can't quite see that, like, you have this same rainbow that's here is here, and this person is like right under the rainbow with all the cups all lined up in a row, being like, yes, like, I've got everything that emotionally fulfills me. Like, I've got the people around me I want. I'm in a location I want. I've got the home I want. I'm working in the field I want. Like, it's huge, like, happiness and emotional fulfillment. I'm also kind of seeing, like, with the beach here, maybe some of you want to move somewhere that's like near an ocean, or at least has access to a beach, if not like immediately on the beach, but like somewhere where, like, maybe at the moment you live sort of more inland or something, like I'm seeing with the hills there, whereas here that this figure is like on the beach. So maybe some of you want to move somewhere yeah, like somewhere coastal or something like that, or you want to travel somewhere, on an exotic beach holiday or something like that, perhaps with friends. And I feel like the universe is coming through saying, like it said with all the guide cards, like, let your dreams take flight. Like, if that's what you dream of, there's a reason for that. It's like, that is probably, you're probably dreaming of that place or that travel or that idea or whatever that thing is you want to manifest. You're probably dreaming of it because it's the thing that is going to bring you the most emotional fulfillment. Like, there's a reason you have that dream, like, and sometimes we can think with dreams like, oh well, like, everyone wants to move there, like, of course, that's all, that's just pie in the sky thinking. Like, I feel like that's what this Nine of Wands is about, is this person's like, yeah, it's just pie in the sky thinking, like, I'm never going to be able to do that. Like, everyone wants to move to whatever it is, LA maybe, or something, like, wants to live near the beach, or wants to go on a beach holiday or something. And actually that's not necessarily the case. Like, some people, that would not be what they would want. And it's like, there's a very specific reason why you have this very specific dream and this very specific like calling to go to this particular place or this particular manifestation. It's like, it's you're yearning for it because your soul knows. I think it's, did you have something about your soul knowing? Yes, with intuition. I'm in tune with my soul's inner knowing. Your soul knows what is good for it. Your soul knows what is the right environment for it. Whether this is just like travel more generally, or actually moving to another place, or like experiencing something different. Maybe this is like starting some kind of business or something like that. It might not necessarily be about traveling. It could just be taking some kind of adventure in your day-to-day life that's sort of outside of your comfort zone, like, discovering something new, trying something new. But I feel like this is definitely something that is going to bring you so much happiness. And like, I'm kind of seeing like a great community of people around you. So for those of you that kind of feel a bit like, oh well, I can't go because I wouldn't know anyone there, or something, like, oh, if I moved all the way across the country, like, I wouldn't have any friends, or like, I wouldn't have any family there, or whatever it might be. It's like, I feel like this card is talking about like leaving your comfort zone behind, leaving what you know behind, and going out into the big wide world. And you will discover like a community of people there who will care for you, and you will be very happy, I feel like. And I feel like with the Six of Pentacles, kind of what I'm seeing this as is like the universe trying to gift you this dream. And yeah, it's like, because this card can talk about, you being in a position to be able to have so much that you can give to others. And certainly maybe at a point where you end up actually living your dream life, and I feel like this is possible for you. So I feel like using this winter season to really like do the manifesting, and do the manifesting techniques, and like do the vision board, and like start living as if you are living in that place. Maybe say if you want to move somewhere and they speak a different language, it's like start taking language classes for the language that they speak there. Actually, it's that active faith thing. It's like taking actual actions to take steps towards that dream life, even if right now it seems like impossible, or like a pipe dream, or whatever it might be. It's like, no, you can actually have this. It just maybe takes some juggling, some steps, some like like learning the language, or like maybe excuse me, if you need a visa or something, like looking into the requirements of what you need in order to do this travel, or to do this move, or whatever it might be. And I feel like the universe is trying to like gift this to you, is kind of more what I'm getting from the Six of Pentacles. And certainly for some of you, like I said, some of you might be coming to a point where you're so full up, kind of thing. Your cup is so full that you have more than enough to give to others. But I feel like this is more like the universe trying to gift this 10 of Cups to you, and you needing to be in a receptive state to be able to accept this gift, because there's a reason why you're feeling called to do this, I feel like. Let's finish up with the Moon Child card. I'll read from the guidebook. So card number 7. Okay, whoops. You have an opportunity to manifest something that you want very much. The divine wants to bless you with assistance to bring a cherished dream to life. What did I just say, you guys, with this 6 of Pentacles? The divine wants to gift you, and she's holding a present here, with assistance to bring your 10 of Cups to life. Exactly. It's like, this isn't a pipe dream. This isn't impossible. This isn't something that you just have to like fantasize about and be like, oh, well, it'll never happen to me. Like, no, you can't actually have this. The universe is trying to bring this to you, or trying to bring the circumstances that you need to bring this about. So like, they might not necessarily like, you know, you might not get an email, hey, pal 3, you've won a trip to blah, blah, blah. But, you know, you might get like, you just never know. Like, you might meet someone and they're like, oh, we need someone to come and help us. You know, we're starting up an office in this place, and we need someone to come out and help us do XYZ. And that's something that you happen to do. And you're like, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to go to that country, like, or I've always wanted to go and be by the coast, and this office is near the coast. Like, now I can go for this 1-month contract and like help out and kind of experience what it would be like to live there and get a taste for it. And like, the universe is trying to gift you something like that. So just be on the lookout for like little nudges, because I feel like something is going to come about. Some sort of manifestation is going to come about that you will just, you're not even seeing, you're not even expecting it, I feel like. So very exciting. So yeah, begin by admitting the true desires of your heart. Then you will need to let go of control as you trust enough to let it happen. You'll know when you are really doing this because you'll feel scared at first. You'll wonder if it's okay to surrender quite so much. It is. Ask for what you want and need without any shame, guilt, or hesitation. Then relax and allow the universe to do its thing. Your heart has a special spiritual power which you can access through prayer. Prayer means speaking from the heart to the divine. For you, the divine might be an unconditionally loving and all-powerful being such as the universe or spirit. You may like to choose a deity from a religious tradition, even if you don't belong to that religion, such as God or Mother Nature. The divine doesn't mind who or what you pray to, so as long as you feel a peaceful, unconditionally loving connection between the divine and your heart. When you pray, you activate the heart and stimulate a portal of healing. The heart knows how to gain closure on emotional, psychological, physical, and spiritual levels, showing you the way through unknown transitions and leading you faithfully to the light of a new day. Your heart also knows how to receive blessings from the divine. Divine blessings can help you in endless ways, and the divine always knows exactly what you need and when you need it. So what are you waiting for? It's time to speak from your heart about whatever matters to you right now. Nothing is too small or too big for the divine to help you figure out. Ask and you shall receive. And the sacred ritual, I'll hold it up to the camera in case you want to do it in your own time, but I'll read it out as well. So find a place where you can have some privacy and some quiet time. Place one hand on your heart. Talk aloud to the universe about what's happening for you and where you need some help. Imagine, feel, or pretend that the universe is listening to every word and even knows what you're going to say before you say it. As you speak, the universe is instantly responding with healing change, setting the right things in motion to help guide you from your heart to the most beautiful solutions. Oh, I love that for you, bar number 3. That has been such a beautiful reading. I hope you can really feel that and claim that and accept that, and comment below if it resonated for you, or just leave an emoji. Hit the like button if it resonated for you. All the best with your winter season and this manifestation. Let me know in the comment box below if you feel like sharing what this is. I would love to hear all about what your dream is that you're wanting to manifest, and all the best with that. And I will see you in the next reading. All my love. Bye.